Okay, what about this? Can y'all hear me now? How's the sound working now? Because according to what I'm seeing on the screen, it's okay. But this is something because every other time, okay, good. I was saying, I just got the news. We walked in. My daughter came in and says, "Holy shit! Did you hear what happened to Charlie Kirk? He was shot." And I went, "Somebody tried to assassinate Charlie Kirk," and she goes, "He's dead." So somebody succeeded in assassinating a YouTuber. I mean, granted, he's a huge YouTuber and he's a huge conservative personality. He was a YouTuber. That's what he was. He had opinions, and someone on the left killed him for those opinions. And that's where we are. And I got to tell you, I'm a self-destructive person. I have been since I was a child. We went to a place called Bear Creek Park in North Carolina when I was a child, and we're looking over the mountains. It's a beautiful view, and I wanted to know what it would be like to jump off. I really did. I had this huge urge to jump from that. Not that I wanted to kill myself, but I've always been like this. I've always understood, but I've always understood my condition, and I cannot follow these impulses or I will die. But the thing is it builds up and it builds up and it builds up, and I have to talk myself out of doing stupid things all the time. But I'm aware of it. And I've been watching these stories and I've been seeing things, and more, I have to pull myself away because I get more angered and more angered and more angered about what's going on. 30 years ago, I was talking to my dad. I've been conservative for my entire life. I'm a Reagan teen. I can't understand anybody who is my age not being a conservative, but I know a lot of people who are. When you go from Jimmy Carter and the fucking near destruction of our country, and you have Reagan who popped in and he let people know it was okay to be an American again. I mean, it's one of the things Donald Trump's doing as well. But you have people who go, "Wait, he's trying to stop crime," except for they don't see it like that. They see it, "Oh, you're being racist you're being a racist." No, it's not about the fucking race. It's about the behavior. He's going after gang members. It's bad. So I see this all the time. I'm all over the place right now, and I get it. But I was talking to my parents, and they're talking about Republicans are fascists way back then, and they're going to try to take over the country. I said, "Horseshit, it's going to be the Democrats." And they nearly laughed their fucking asses straight fuck off. And I said, the Republicans can't do what you're saying they want to do. It is impossible for the Republicans to do what you're saying that they want to do. And my dad was asking why. And I told him because the Republicans are perceived as monsters. No one trusts the Republicans. But the Democrats keep coming to you with gifts. "Oh, we want to give you free this. We want to give you free that. We want to give you free." But there's no free. So in order to give you, they've got to take. And ultimately, they're going to fucking take until you have nothing. And they actually said recently, "You will own nothing. And you'll love it." I said, so the Republicans will not be able to do what you're saying they want to do. And finally, we have a person who comes in. First of all, it's not even Trump, by the way, that started this. Obama comes in. And let's face it, Obama wasn't a presidential candidate. He was a movement when he came out. He was. We beat racism, by the way. When I said this over at Nerdette's newsstand, the comments just fucking lit up. They were like, "Oh, you fucking fool," and all that kind of stuff. No, we beat them. We beat racism. Racism was done. We knew if you were racist, you're taken out of the sandbox. We're not going to kill you because we're fucking smarter than people are now. But we understand. You are not allowed to play in our sandbox because you are racist. And that's the way it was. But with Obama brought it back. Obama didn't just bring racism back. he made it something to be celebrated. He made it so that if you even disagreed with the fact that there was tons of racism everywhere, systematic, they say, that in some way, shape, or form you were wrong. You yourself were racist. Oh, we don't see race. Oh, if you don't see a person's color, then you're racist. You fucking numbnuts of people who ever said that. What we mean when we say, and I'm talking to you as a Gen X, not a fucking boomer, you dumbasses, is that when we say that, we just don't treat people different. You know, that's what we mean. And these dickheads who just have to have racism. And I'm sorry, I'm not reading comments right now because I just have to rant for a while just to get a little bit of the anger. And I just give me a while. All right. But that's just the way it's been. And it's been building and building and building. An Hispanic security guard sees a suspicious kid who, by the way, we find out was getting stuff to make meth. Of course, every time you saw a picture of him, it was when he was 12 years old and, you know, had nothing to do with reality. Follows him. The kid is beating his fucking brains into the pavement. And in order to defend himself, the guy shoots him. And instantly, the guy stops being Hispanic and he starts being white, because we need that racism. Yeah, it's fucking everywhere. But it's been becoming more and more violent. When Antifa started showing up, I got to tell you, I enjoyed watching the videos where people stood up for themselves. Because you have the left, and they're saying violence is okay. Fucking hell. Kamala Harris said it was okay. Hell, fucking half the Avengers said it was okay to burn down the streets and to beat the shit out of people. Oh, if they get captured, we'll bail them out. If they burn down a city, we'll bail them out. So violence on the left, as I said a long time ago, the fascism is going to come from the left, as it did forever and ever and a day. As I said a long time ago, it's been building and it's been building. Charlie Kirk, good man. You may disagree with him, but by every measure is perceived as a good man. But the rhetoric, you are not speaking our rhetoric. You must die. That's what comes up. Hello, the black cat. What's up, my friend? And that's what happened. That's what happened here. Charlie, it was for nothing more, by the way. I'm going to put this up as our background. It was for nothing more because Charlie Kirk had different opinions. Rhaegar saying, with respect to that, much more, he's a big conservative activist who helped Trump get elected. Turning Point is a major outfit, employees a lot of. You're right. Charlie Kirk's legacy will be marked by his gratitude, honor, and integrity. All right. Another World saying Republicans have a felon. No, he doesn't. I'm going to say right here, another wonderful secret. You're either lying to yourself or you are actively stupid. Okay. I'll go more into your thing, but let's go with the felon of a president. They had to change laws in order to get him. They had to change fucking laws. As a matter of fact, there's a big story about how a Democrat got caught up in how they changed the fucking law just 1 year later. There was, what do they call it? It's losing me there, Black Cat. When you have a time before the crime is done, like you can't convict, statute of limitations. They had to change the fucking statute of limitations. They were fucking corrupt in bringing him those 34. And then, by the way, the judge says, I don't care if you think he's guilty of something, mark him as fucking guilty. And that has never been done in a court of law before. So stuff that 34 fucking felonies in your fucking ass. It was wrong. It was corrupt. And it's bullshit every time someone says it. Every fucking time. Every fucking time. But I'll tell you what, you do have a little bit of a point. If the GOP can't do anything, stop all these horrible crimes, how will they? You're never going to stop all the crimes. You're just not. Crime is going to be a thing. But for the longest time, the GOP sat on their fucking asses, dicks in hand, not doing shit. They were afraid of people not liking them. Well, we have a president now who is not afraid of people not liking him. He just wants to do the right thing. Oh my gosh, President Trump is racist because he's going after MS-13, a fucking gang. And we gotta stop him from stopping crime. That's the message. That's what they're sending. That's what they're protecting. Fucking hell. This guy who stabbed that little girl was arrested and released 14 times. Why is the judge not in jail? Why, when the attorney general, the state attorney generals are not arrested, why, or they're not held accountable for what they release on the streets? Because they don't want to go after all crime. They just want to go after the crime that follows their narrative. I've seen a lot of people never thought I'd see crying on live streams today. A big personality. You know what? I understand it. I understand it. What did he do wrong? Like I said, by every fucking measure, he was a good guy. If you fucking disagree with him, don't agree. But here's my destruction. Here's my self-destruction. Over and over, I've just been thinking, whenever I see, I know England's a conquered nation. Anytime I see him in the streets, I'm wondering, why are you allowing them to do that? Run through them. When I see it in Minnesota, when I see it in New York, my thoughts have been going wild also. I'm not going to act on it. I've been covering these thoughts since I was, I guess, 7, 8 or 9, around there. When was Roots on? That's when I lived in North Carolina. The first time. Old people know what Roots is. Joe saying, true, Obama was obsessed with racism. He was. I abandoned my ties to the left after discovering its cult life. My God, it really is a cult. The only thing we cared about when we were growing up was whether or not a person was an asshole. Exactly. Exactly. Did I go off after Sandy Hook? Yeah. I think school shootings are horseshit, just the same. And by the way, for me, it would be what you call it down south in Florida, more so than Sandy Hook even. But what did we get out of that? We got David Hogg, who wasn't even there, and he took over everything. You know, there's no mention of the students that were actually there. It's just this. What is his name? Hogg or Hogue? I don't care. Hogg. Fuck him. But the thing is anytime school shootings there, they don't talk about the shooter. They talk about the guns. The guns didn't do shit except for in the hands of somebody who was fucking nuts. The school shooter, that's the person that you go after. But no, the big difference in this one and the school shootings, and I'm not saying one is, I'm not saying, but there is a difference. That's a crazy guy, but nobody goes after the crazy guy when it goes into school shootings. And I get the Ben Shapiro thing. Let's not call him by name. I mean, for fuck's sake. What was the first one that really kicked off all of this shit? It was in, what was it? Denver, I think it was. They called him the fucking trench coat mafia. They gave him a fucking cool name. Of course there's going to be copycats. So, yeah, I get it. Don't name them. Kill them. Don't even bury them. Mm-hmm. Remembering the right, cheering Pelosi getting hit? No. Okay, so here we go. Yule, what are you fucking saying? Like, what is your message? Obviously, you're on the left. So what are you saying right now? That Charlie Kirk's assassination was justified? Are you saying that because somebody said something bad about Nancy, oh my gosh, it's cool, that Charlie Kirk deserved to die? Because that's what I'm going to assume you're saying. Since the death of Charlie Kirk is not the first thing on your mind, you're not saying, yes, we should stop political violence. You're saying, well, you guys weren't caring about it when it was Nancy Pelosi. That's your message? And you don't even know. You're just making assumptions because I'm talking right now. Lark Bark saying, I'm shocked and saddened by this news. It truly is heartbreaking. It really is. It really is. And that should be your first fucking concern, Yule. Oh, and by the way, you got to be fucking trolling me if you don't understand that the Democrats had already, a lot of times they can't do anything right now with the redistricting because they've already done it to the point where all of their cities and all of their states are already gerrymandered to the point where they can't do it anymore. So wake the fuck up. I swear to fucking God, I've been dealing with this with my entire life. You know how many conversations I was just like, because my family was spewing some half-baked shit because they didn't have all the information. For fuck's sake, I went 10 rounds with my brother about that kid with the Indian in his face, the ones that walked all the way fucking around to get right in that kid's face. And then all the news was talking about how he was smirking and laughing at some old Indian man. And I said, no, you should have watched the fucking full video. Anytime shit comes out like that, watch the full fucking video. He goes, it wasn't available. Bullshit. It was available on day one. And I went 10 rounds with him. And he was so fucking sure, even though he didn't have all of the goddamn information. Magatria, yeah, all of you. Yeah, okay. All righty, Joel. Yeah, horse shit. I'm telling you, if you're on the left, you haven't really paid attention. You just haven't. You're not saying anything. So here's what I'm going to say. Joel, Yule, there you go. What you need to do is back that shit up. I've said a few things, so back it up. Don't say vague shit, okay? Okay, I also made fun of the who is they? Was it Fox News? Was it anybody with any kind of weight, or was it a bunch of trolls on YouTube with X with a freaking blue check by their name? By the way, don't respond to people with a blue check. Here's how it works. Say you get a blue check, you say something fucking ridiculous, and you watch the dollars roll in because people respond to what you say is ridiculous. So if you see a blue check and they say something outrageous, don't fucking respond. It's what they want. It's how they make their money. All right. Okay, so absolutely you said nothing, Joel. And what you're saying here is because he said something, he must die. So go fuck yourself, Joel. You're out. Just saw this. DC Comics is under fire after one of their newly hired writers for Red Hood went on social media celebrating. I saw that. I was going to bring that up. Okay, and there you go. Let's see. They also, you'll state something. Put a link. Put a link in. Let me tell you something. If you consider yourself a liberal on the left and you came here to gloat and talk trash, you are part. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Let the cat back in. Oh, sorry, man. Sorry about that. There you go. I'm on. Yeah. Looks like the old guy who was arrested has been seen at different rallies here in the state. Trying to
internet.
Yep. Oh, go on ahead, please. If you're, by the way, if you're here on the left and you are trying to trash talk and you're celebrating the death, you have to back up your shit. Don't say vague shit. Vague shit's going to get you blocked, just like John C. I want full on 100%. This is the fact that is going after what I have said, not what he said, what I have said. If you don't bring the facts, you're fucking out. I don't even want to fucking, yeah. Anyway, go on ahead. Black Cat, you had a point.
Yeah, no, I was just gonna say my internet's a little roboting, so I'm dropping in, dropping out, and you. Yeah. The
Okay.
other point is Yule is we know Yule's not a troll, so if
Yeah, no,
if
he's been
he
around, but he's
is
trolling now.
available to talk about it, you might want to see if you should give him the link and he jumps on and gives his side.
Yeah, okay. You know what? That's okay. I'll do that right now. I will say
No, as
if
in
you
Yule
come on and you
is
start,
like on basic.
there you go. I'll let you in. Come on in. If anybody wants to say something, not kind or not. Getting back to the point of this, we have turned into a violent. I mean, it's becoming more violent. It's people aren't allowed to just have an opinion anymore. And it seems like if somebody has the opposite opinion, you're not supposed to be friends. It's ridiculous. It is fucking ridiculous the way it's become. Which just reminded me, I'm going to invite my friend who is on the other side of things. Who is, here we go. Goodness gracious. I can't believe this shit. Charlie Kirk's dead. Charlie Kirk's dead, and we've got somebody in the thing going, oh wow, Nancy Pelosi's husband was hit. Nancy Pelosi's husband was not killed, but that's your major concern. Isn't that part of the problem? I left the thing for anybody who wants to come in and talk. If you disagree, come on in and talk. I will try to be respectful. But I got to tell you, I'm just angry. Have a good day, Joe. No, Yule's been around here. Yule's been around this, by the way. I went and platformed these pieces of shit. We don't need to listen to garbage. No,
Yeah,
I've never been like that. In all honesty, Clint.
He's on the left, so he might have
Yeah,
his opinion. So
yeah, I know. But the thing is it's not the same. It's not political violence. And according, as Clint's saying, Nancy Pelosi's husband got hit by his boyfriend and his drug dealer. It's a different thing. Charlie Kirk was politically assassinated. It's two different fucking things. It's not the same as a school shooting. It's not even the same, by the way, because I've seen this. It's not even the same as the guy who shot the girl the other day. Or not shot, but stabbed the girl the other day. Hello to Paolo. How are you doing, sir?
Hey, E, what's up? Haven't seen you in a while. But then you're streaming over something very unexpected.
I used to do this with anything.
Yeah.
Where it's like if I felt big emotions over something, I gotta get online, whether it's about comics or not. I used to get a lot of, well, what does this have to do with comics? I don't give a fuck. It's my channel.
Mm.
You know, I'm going to talk about whatever the hell I want, comics or regardless. And I don't know, this might actually change things because I now think everybody who is a conservative, now you have an obligation to stand up. Now you have an obligation to call out stupid. I think now you have an obligation. Don't sit on your hands. Don't go quiet. You have an obligation. What's up?
Well,
hold on just a second. If y'all could talk to and entertain the public, my daughter just walked in.
Okay.
Here's
all right. So
as well.
Rain, what's up?
Yeah, kind of shitty day.
Interesting. I mean, I never knew if I should categorize Charlie Kirk as a commentator or a political fixer. But anyway, we don't usually deal with, if we have disagreements with this kind of people. We don't usually shoot people around here. So what the what the hell's going on, right?
We are at a tipping point.
Mm-hmm.
The violence is so one-sided, yet the one side it's coming from has the press in their pocket, so it's excused, alibied. I mean, some of the things that were said today, before it even passed, that that you're using, the terms that we're using. It's like it's insane.
Right. You know, one thing that I've mentioned to other people when I try around here, when I try to explain the American political system, the fact that you will only have two parties means that the crazy people on each side join the mainstream, and because crazy people are louder, they end up dominating the political conversation. But for if we take into account that the people who are rabidly anti-gun are the ones most willing to create violence in order to produce an effect, I'm really flabbergasted on sometimes on how your society functions when these types of events occur. I mean, Charlie Kirk's really not that important in the political arena. I mean, he's internet famous, but the fact that, but then again, all these people who exhibit some sort of mental illness as a badge of honor, they are also internet bound, so they react to people they see on the internet, and when they see them in the real world, they like the internet has no consequences, and to them the real world doesn't either, I guess.
Well, Charlie Kirk had transcended YouTube fame, or because he was out making appearances, willing to debate anybody who with opposing views, always did it very calmly, rationally, and kind of a friendly demeanor. And he was he was very instrumental in changing the hearts and minds of a lot of kids, a lot of young voters that would have ordinarily never have even considered voting.
It turns out it's Gail, by the way, and she's talking about this too. So I'll be there in a little bit.
And I said I can't get my head around this, because I said it's the idea that somebody could be, I don't know. This is tough. The fact that someone felt compelled to silence a voice. I mean, this is huge. I don't think I'm not sure anybody realizes how big this actually is. It's definitely a political assassination.
Mm-hmm.
And if the idea was to, at some point, the right is going to stop just accepting things. You go back to 2021 when Democrat cities were burning, when Molotov cocktails were being thrown through police station windows, when people were killed, and just the right just took it. And I don't know. I said you can only push somebody so far. I'm worried that this might have been that that point where he finally
I think it is.
But I'm trying
I hope it is.
I'm trying to stay calm. If you guys, I was busy watching the Red Sox here. have you talked about how it pertains to the fine folks at DC Comics yet?
Who said
Not
something?
yet. Let's bring up Gabe Hernandez, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, man, I don't even know what that is.
Well, no,
Am I still here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gabe Hernandez is on the right, and he posted. Yeah, he pointed something out. The
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Then whatever the person was talking about.
It's Gretchen Felker Martin.
Okay, here you go. I don't know what I'm talking about, I guess, but Gretchen Felker Martin is the person.
Yeah.
Right?
No, this
Thoughts
is the
and prayers,
person,
you Nazi bitch.
Now remember, this is the person that agreed with bin Laden's actions on 9/11 and fantasizes about slitting J.K. Rowling's throat. Even after that, recruited by DC Comics to write the new Red Hood. This is that man in a wig's tweets or whatever they call it over on Blue Sky today. Now, I'm not going to tell anybody what to do, but I would have trouble. I mean, I finally, I gave up New Comics for good 2 weeks ago. Not having anything to do, no political reasons whatsoever, but I can't see supporting a company after this until this person is removed.
I agree.
I mean, Mark Waid is a rational man compared to this man.
Yeah. Well, when they choose their username, Scumbelievable, you already know what's going to come out of that mouth.
Here.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. E, can you introduce us to the man on screen? That's Eric Breen. He's been here with the channel for quite a bit now. You guys should know him.
Who doesn't know?
Actually, Paulo Costa.
I guess I don't know who I am.
I know. I was. Yeah. Okay, so let me tell you something. I know a lot about comic books. I know a shit ton about comic books. But I will bend the knee to Eric Breen's knowledge about comics. And Eric bends the knee to Paulo's knowledge about comics. That should tell you about his knowledge. He's been around on and off. Yeah.
I probably call myself an amateur historian.
I dropped both knees like a $2 you-know-what to his knowledge.
There you go. So good man.
Politically,
from what is it? Portugal?
Politically, you can't pin me down. First of all, because I'm European, and all of us Europeans are communist until proven otherwise. But
there you go.
We have the political climate around here, for comparison. People are running their mouth a lot more, even on mainstream television, than they used to 20 years ago. But they still come from sectors of society that are traditionalists, and even the most of the more hardcore lefties come from families that are old money. You always have that son or daughter who has a problem with daddy, so they end up joining the Communist Party. But we don't go around hurting people. We don't have political violence like that nowadays. We the last time we had something that could be considered a political assassination in Portugal was in 1989. And we did have a tumultuous period in the 1970s when we had a regime change and the CIA was running around trying to prevent the KGB from taking over. But otherwise, from then, I mean, people talk shit on TV, but we don't usually do this. So even when they shot Trump, I was like, what the hell? It's America 20. It's America in current year. It's not. We're supposed to be a little more civilized than this, even if we have disagreements. But I don't know. Look, it looks like there's a lot of people being raised on the internet and not going outside and not talking to people and not interacting on normal society, and they end up doing crazy things. So
it's not just the internet, Paulo. Where it's really become a problem is in the publicly funded school systems, where you're not taught to think, you're taught to feel. You are basically told from day one that America is an awful place and that the only way to fix it is to destroy and dismantle all of its institutions and start over. They'd love to start with the Constitution and go amendment to amendment, because those first two really bother the left. And I'm not saying it's about everybody, but they said it's very prevalent, and it's, like I said, and that's why, getting back to Charlie Kirk, is that, what he tried to do was to break through some of that, for lack of a better word, indoctrination. And he would engage at the farthest left person and, let them have their say and then challenge them. And sometimes you would reach, some of these people, but some are just, it's too far gone. It's almost like, when you try to deprogram a cult, your success rate is limited at best. Some of these people are never going to change their minds. And, you've got people celebrating on Blue Sky what happened today. If your brain is that broken that you can celebrate the death of someone, a father with 2 young children, simply because you disagree with them politically, you're too far gone. There's no coming back for those people. I don't know in what portions of society they exist, but how do you communicate with somebody with that much hate? You can't. And I just don't see it getting any better.
A lot of times they won't allow you to communicate.
No, because it's a lot easier just to scream and shout until the other side just gives up. It's really, it's, if I could encapsulate it in 15 seconds, it was the game in Philadelphia last week when the foul ball, when the guy went over and got it for his kid, and the woman came over and like, you got in his face demanding the ball, and he just gave it to her. He said, it's not worth it. That's kind of what it's been like here for, years and years. And I think that might have ended today.
I hope so. I honestly do hope so. We have sat back and we let the view happen. We let all this shit happen where it's like, okay, whatever, you're dumbass. But very, very few of us have been, including myself, have actively gone on and countered it. We have allowed that. When you get some kid, you see them with the Antifa, they're out and somebody comes up and says, yeah, but what about, oh, fuck you, Nazi. And, fuck you for even saying the word Nazi when you're working for fucking George Soros. And I know, oh my God, he brought up that name. We got to make fun of it because no, a lot of these people are being paid to be there, and they're being paid through a company that's owned by an actual fucking Nazi. And we're hearing that and nobody's calling it out. You get it on the TV. What was this? That one dumb black girl that's on the freaking CNN show has that show where her and the stupid dude with the glasses,
Abby Phillips,
they were on and they were talking. Yeah, they were talking about how that, oh no, this isn't a race thing, where that black guy stabbed that white girl, even though the black guy said, I got that white girl. They're talking about, oh no, we can't actually speak the truth here. Fucking hell. I can't do this. I can't do this and remain calm. You guys are, I tried. I've been freaking losing my shit since the very beginning of this.
Right. I mean,
but
considering the length of time that it's been
lies to one thing that No, go on ahead,
Yeah.
Colin.
Well, sorry, you were on interrupted. You're going on a rant, but yeah, but considering the length of time that it's been since the way that the killing of the Ukrainian girl on the train has been handled by mainstream media,
Yeah.
and then all of a sudden we have this. It does feel like it's escalating towards something, and so the point where how can people talk about this? Two different sides come together to discuss things. Maybe it stops being an option, which is actually very, very bad for American society as a whole. So I really don't know what needs to be done to get everybody to calm down, and there needs to be a shift more towards what the individual wants. Everybody's been getting a very collectivist in America, which, considering that America has always been about the success of the individual, everybody bending to splitting into tribes, and those tribes getting bigger, and those tribes becoming more important. That's how I see that it's preventing people from reaching consensus on how to live together, and this is creating the more of this violence that doesn't seem to stop, and nobody wants to take care of it at an official level.
One of the things that has been gone on is that people on the left, in general, I'm sure there's one or two people out there, so I can't say all, but enough that if I said all, I'd be close. But they tend to believe in the collective. You know, they'll talk about black people as if black people were one entity. You know, instead of looking at everybody as an individual. And people on the right tend to look at people as individuals. You know, the system is racist because black people can't achieve. But wait a second, there have been black people who have achieved, says the people on the right. Therefore, the system isn't racist. There are other factors to be talked about. Whoa, you don't think that that black people can't achieve? Then you're a racist. And that's generally how the conversation has gone forever and ever. And unfortunately, when it does come to the people who aren't achieving, they're listening to the people on the left because that takes responsibility out of their own hands. It's easy. It is so, and by the way, that is a generality right there, but it is so easy to be able to say, yeah, I'm not successful because of the decisions they made, not because of the decisions I've made. Well, fuck, as a poor person, I made a lot of fucking bad decisions that got me here. Thank you very much. And by the grace of the God and a lot of people, we've managed to keep our head above water. And thank you to those in the chat who has done that. Clint is saying, my family are Democrats who cheered for Trump getting shot. I don't let my daughter spend any time with him alone. My daughters are very, very much aware. Now, my youngest is a little bit on the left. I think she's actually creeping over to the right. But my daughter Ashley has learned to do the same thing I do a lot of times with my family, because I like my family. I like to spend time with my family. So a lot of times when they speak about politics, I just go, okay. I don't say anything. Family, it's just not worth it. You know, I still like my mom and dad. I still kind of like my brothers. So, you know, I'll keep the peace in the family. But the thing is, and I actually had an argument with this with my wife about the fucking pot smoker behind me. Why the fuck am I the one that always has to back off? You know? And I think that's the way we've seen it. Democrats are A-okay with breaking well, not Democrats. I just read the fucking word there with Clint there. A lot of people on the left are A-okay with breaking the law. And a lot of people on the right won't break the law even to defend themselves, or won't defend themselves because they might be breaking the law. And I think, why are we the ones that can't fight back as hard as the leftists fight us? Because I know in New York, they had that one thing where go on ahead. Sorry.
No, as I said, but I think we were about to say the same thing. Because too many of these places have Soros-funded judges, district attorneys, prosecuting attorneys, and when you say, why did no one help that woman on the railway? Well, look what happened to Daniel Penny. Yeah, I said
Yeah.
when they basically set up the laws to protect the criminals and punish the innocent, eventually it takes a toll. And you start thinking, well, what if I get involved? I mean, I could be killed, or I could be arrested for helping, and it leads to a lot of people just not wanting to get involved. I mean, that's, and like I said, it makes it tough.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
really
wonder sometimes because. Oh, go ahead. You're really
no.
trying
So
to...
I'm really trying to, select my words carefully because I don't want to, go off the rails myself.
Oh, I've been off the rails since the very beginning. I actually blocked somebody, by the way, because they refused. And by the way, I put the, I should put it up. If you are disagreeing, if you are somebody who's celebrating Charlie Kirk's murder, I will allow you on to speak your mind. But if you do, you must bring legitimate reasons. Don't say, oh, he was a racist, fucking whatever, blah, 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 yada, yada. I want specifics. Oh, he was a hate monger. No, he wasn't. You're a dumbass. Bring specifics.
You can't.
Because all I got, by the way, from Yule and from this other dude was vague shit. So I said, if you insult Charlie Kirk right now, be specific about what he said to be a hate monger or any of the other shit. Because we're getting it with Trump. Oh my God, he's deporting MS-13. Therefore, he's a racist. Bullshit. Are you truly, truly defending rapists and murderers? Even if he's just deporting somebody who never committed another crime other than illegal entry into our country, being an illegal alien is against the law, so it's okay for them to be deported. You have to find another fucking reason, because it's not racist to hold somebody accountable, including myself, by the way, and when they break the fucking law. So bring something real. You are invited to talk, but you better bring something real, and you better fucking be respectable, because, I'm already on the fucking edge.
Wait, what did Yule do?
Oh, he was just going off on, were you this mad about school shootings? What the and it pissed me off because what the fuck are you saying? Because people weren't yelling about school shootings. Charlie Kirk deserved to fucking die, or we can't talk about it because of Nancy Pelosi's boyfriend getting hit with a hammer. Hit with a hammer, surviving. It wasn't a political fucking assassination. It's not the same goddamn thing. No, by the way.
Yeah.
No, it was his gay fucking boyfriend.
Shit. Yeah.
So, anywho.
A little disappointed to hear that.
Yeah, but you have the link right there. If you disagree, if you think Charlie Kirk deserved to be assassinated, come on in. But you have fucking facts to back that shit up. No vagary. Oh, he was a racist monster who blah, blah, blah. Doesn't agree with my politics. That's horseshit. Because in America, you're supposed to be able to agree with or disagree with people's politics and not get fucking shot. Sorry. A long time ago, somebody said an angry Angleton is an entertaining Angleton. But
also considering that the latest school shooter was chromosomally challenged, they should shut up a little about that.
Yeah. What's this? Attitude on the left that these are a bunch of right wingers going out and shooting up these schools. Nothing could be farther from the truth. Of course, if you're only consuming your news from certain outlets, you wouldn't know that.
Yeah, that's actually what I think is wrong with that one news reporter, the one with the Republican guy. What's his name? That's always owning them.
Scott Jennings.
Scott Jennings. Yeah, that show where the black girl's the host, and she's always saying stupid shit, and then Scott Jennings. Yeah, they had that whole discussion, like I said, with the guy with glasses and everything. Talking about how it's not racist and everything. I think the biggest problem with her talking about news is that she gets her news from CNN and therefore is pretty ignorant about everything that's going on. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me get some chat here. I know I'm behind. Let's see. I'm glad I did not see the video. I would never have gotten that out of my head. I did see the video.
Yeah, it was tough.
I don't know why I saw the video, but when I saw it was available, I watched. It is horrifying. It is horrible. By the way, once again, I apologize. I'm so late on these things. Let's see. MK is saying, yeah, I think eventually they're going to force our hands. I hope it doesn't take civil war. But, I think in a way we are. I mean, we've been in a civil war, I guess a cold civil war for a while now. And it's just been getting worse and worse. And it's mainly, I think, you know what? I think this right here, these have eaten society whole. The social media, all it really is people don't look for intelligence. People don't look for ways to improve themselves. And a lot of times you don't. Gee, what is this? Let me look it up. Okay, I got the answer. Boom, and you walk away. There's no studying to be done. But a lot of people, myself included, I'm not saying I'm better than anybody or anything. A lot of people basically look up the website everythingalreadybelieve.com. And that's the way it is. And so more and more they live in their own bubbles and they barely go over. Now, if you are conservative, you're forced to consume stuff on the left because there's just so much more of it. And a lot of times, though, when we consume stuff on the left, we're looking at people like Charlie Kirk, or we're looking at people like Tim Pool or Ben Shapiro or something. So not only are we getting the news, but we're getting the perspective. And a lot of people, if you're not good at critical thinking, what you're getting is, whether it's on the left or the right, you're also getting not just the information, but how to think about that information. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was going to say that Clint just posted that the real shooter's finally been caught. Yeah, I doubt seriously if he just woke up this morning and said, I'm going to go knock off Charlie Kirk. Where, good first step would be some Jack Bauer type shit with that guy alone in a room and find out who funded this. Because this guy, who gets paid? The guy's family, through shell cover, whatever, however you want to look at. Because the shooter obviously knew he was going to had to know he was going to get caught. So somebody's going to benefit from this, and that's what we need to find out. And then, like I said, all hell should break loose. But it's something else. It said we were talking. You mentioned the Ukrainian girl. Another story has just gone unreported. Is this young black girl was raped and murdered and thrown in a ditch by an illegal. Crickets.
Yep. It's amazing because, once again, and here's one of the things that Charlie Kirk got shot for. If it was a white person, there would be no crickets. You would not be able to hear the sound of the crickets over the outrage. But black people are not as much victims as the illegal aliens are. And by the way, fuck it, illegal immigrant. They're not illegal immigrants. They're illegal aliens. For a longest time, we have allowed the left to change the arguments. Pro-choice wasn't pro-choice. It was pro-abortion, which, by the way, could be actually interpreted to pro-death. We're pro-life. They're pro-abortion. Done. Because they're not about pro-choice. They don't want school choices. They don't want you to choose anything other than whether or not to kill the baby.
Yeah, abortion begat pro-choice, begat reproductive freedom. You change the language,
right?
You can change the minds.
What people think.
Yes.
Yeah. And that happened with illegal aliens. And that there's nothing wrong with that. Well, they're not aliens. They're from Earth. Fuck you, dumbass. It means foreign.
Yeah, yeah. You don't even know the English language properly, especially because immigrant is an actual legal status.
Yeah.
Not every so if somebody is illegal, they can't be an immigrant.
Yeah, it's funny today. Today I had lunch with a friend of mine, a good friend of mine, who calls himself somewhere between a progressive and a liberal. And he looks at me today and goes, I think social media is the worst thing that ever happened to this country. And I go, yeah, can't really disagree with you. And that was before this. So yeah, it's like, eerie foreshadowing, I guess. But man, it's just, like I said, it's a sad world when you hate so hard that, because I said, how you get past a lot of these. Yeah, any of those, any one of those people that Charlie Kirk engaged with on a one-on-one basis, I promise you the thought of taking him out has never occurred to any of them, because he listens. I mean, he would listen, and he was respectful. Now, they may not agree with him, they may hate his guts after that, but I said, I think to be able to do what happened today, you have to just be absolutely detached from reality. And I'm glad I can't get my head around this, because that means I'll never be like that. Well, hello.
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say something that actually has Rhaegar's mentioning. Anytime anybody brings up this undocumented horseshit, ask them why they're not documented.
Yeah.
Just let's get to the bottom of it. Let's get them to say because they're here illegally. Let's see. When I jumped in, it kind of shot me forward in the comments, so I apologize for everybody I skipped over. Let's see. What are we seeing? Utah has a radical left-wing problem. It's pretty crazy over here. So does Portland. It's at this point, and I'm not saying violence. No fucking violence unless provoked. But don't let them go. It's my buddy ranting. Control the language. You control everything. That's what's been going on. Don't let them give you the undocumented thing. Do not let them give you the illegal immigrant thing. They're illegal aliens. Don't let them give you the pro-life or the pro-choice. They're not. They're pro-abortion. America's always been fucked up. Well, every country has been. I mean, that's everything been in some way, shape, or form. But that's not to say there isn't any good. I don't think you're saying there's no good. But there you go. Once again, I did leave. I gotta pin this, but I did leave the link. If somebody wants to jump in, if you are actually celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, come on in and tell us why. But you have to bring facts. You have to bring knowledge, not just vague. He was a racist. He wasn't. He supported hatred. He didn't. Tell us really why. Tell us really why this father of 2 young children is dead. Tell us why those babies have to grow up without their dad. Tell us why this man needed, absolutely 100% fucking needed to die. All those fuckers celebrating this, that bullshit comic book writer, flat out said this man fucking needed to die. So I'm inviting you. If you fully 100% stand behind your bullshit, come on in. I'm not promising you. I'm going to try to be respectful. But only if you can absolutely back your shit up. I'm asking, be a fucking man or a full-grown adult woman, whomever you are, that celebrates the death of this father who died, who got shot for in a fucking opinion. Come on in.
I think right now the only leftist who could come in here and actually try to give you some facts about Charlie Kirk that he won't like would be Kyle Kalinske. And even though Kyle Kalinske has gone down in quality a lot in the last 5 years, he used to be about facts and numbers. So we could at least depend on that.
A couple things. Yeah. Gratsu, is Gretchen Felker Martin the trans activist writer of Red Hood that agreed with bin Laden on 9/11 and fantasizes about killing or slitting J.K. Rowling's throat? Had a couple of disgusting posts today. This person is just
yeah.
not,
Let's slit her throat because she stands up for women.
Yeah,
she has to die because yeah. Oh my gosh, she's standing up for women. Oh, her controversial. No, it's not controversial. She's standing up for women. I mean, for fuck's sake, the entire trans movement, not trans people, but the entire trans movement has become shut the fuck up, men are talking. Serious. Are you a woman that doesn't agree that a man says I'm a woman, he's automatically a woman and now deserves to be in men's places? Shut the fuck up, men are talking. Yeah, women's places. There you go. That is what it's all become about. A woman can stand up. Hey, I don't like, shut the fuck up, men are talking. Doesn't matter if they're wearing a dress or not. Shut the fuck up, men are talking. That's the entire transgender movement right now. That's what it's become. Well, I don't agree with, doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman saying it. Shut the fuck up, men are talking. And I could lose my channel for saying that. The wrong person sees it, they'll do this. Oh, he's speaking out. He's preaching hatred. I don't give a fuck if you're transgender. Live your life. I've got my wife for the last 30 years. You think I care how you live your life?
By the way, you're now restricted from traveling to England.
Like I wanted that fucking place has been concert.
You've heard about the comedian Graham Lennon who was
a
60-year-old British comedian was accosted by 5 armed police officers in an airport. At the same time, there are youths from an area that used to have a library back in the year 1000. Those are stabbing each other in the street, and nobody can do anything about it in London.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, Sabricot says I need bigger headphones for the size of your head. Okay, that is one. There will not be another without getting blocked. What I want you to do, I left the link right there. You're going to bring facts. Okay, no vagaries. No vagaries here. If you think that I need bigger headphones for the size of my head, by the way, you could just be talking physically. I got a big fat head. I'm a fat guy. But if that's how you feel, bring fucking facts, not just vague insults. Bring your shit. Stand up, be a man, and bring, or a woman, be an adult is what I'm saying, and bring your fucking shit. All right? Okay, that's all I'm asking. No fucking vagaries on this. If you're, oh my gosh, he was hateful, and you got to bring why were they hateful? Why do you think I have a big head? I mean, first of all, what? Because I have a channel where I speak my opinion? Make yourself in the channel. Speak your opinion. Anybody could do it. All righty. Dark Admiral saying that's a wild part. I disagree with Rowling on 99% of the things, but I don't want to see her come to harm. She disagrees on one thing with her side, and they age her arm. Yeah, it's amazing. You have a difference of opinion. Who fucking cares? Okay, see, okay, yeah, that I'm fine with. If it's a physical thing, I get it. I never thought I had a big head compared to my body, but okay, there you go. I went into an interview at Burger King and saw a bunch of hobos fighting outside the place in London. I once saw 2 dogs fighting over a live chicken in a street in Thailand that stopped traffic. And they were really going at who gets to eat this chicken. And so the dogs start fighting. The chicken just walks away. Dogs kept fighting. It was one of the funniest things I ever saw. People are cheering. That I know. It's horrible, Lark Bart.
Well, something was just brought up about the 99% of the time you disagree with J.K. Rowling, but the one time that she strays from the tribe, it's like the other 99 don't count. that is why it's so hard to reach some people, because when you've chosen a side that demands total obedience and no dissension will be tolerated, that's how you get people that are so rigid in their views that once you've achieved that, like I said, those are the ones there's no really coming back. Yeah, Black Spiders, he did.
Yeah. Charlie Kirk is dead. Hold on just a second. Okay. Can y'all see this? The turning point?
Not yet. Now we can.
Then lead to hateful actions. That's the environment we're in, that people just, you can't stop with these sort of awful things to take place.
Matt.
And that's the unfortunate environment we're in.
Turning Point USA has confirmed that he was shot. And there are a number of
Could that be translated into he deserved it?
Well, I don't know. I don't think he was saying that, but he was certainly saying that the violent rhetoric is coming from the right. And that's just not true. Again, like I said, when you feel instead of think, and you just hear what other people tell you, or hear cropped together, sound bites, then yes, that's the conclusion that some will arrive. And and like I said, it's irresponsible. And I'm not saying that, I'm not saying it's 100% one-sided, but it's overwhelmingly one-sided.
The whinge of Mawa hate speech, says to Hilliam. And it's also, they're going with the JFK assassination route and claim with this guy. I don't know, man. I got to tell you, this has angered me too. And Gail called, by the way, it was Gail. She heard and she wanted to talk to me because she goes, I don't know why I'm crying. I don't know this guy. And I was like, well, you watched him. And when, even in this situation, when you are watching a good YouTube channel like this, and I think we are a good YouTube channel, even though we're low budget, and there's no professionalism, we're sincere. There's no act here. I don't want you to follow blindly. If I say something is good or bad, hey, check it out for yourself. This is just my opinion. And what you see is what you get. Eric's met me. He could tell you. I've met Eric. I could tell you that the person who is talking to you and how we talk to you is how we would talk to each other, and I think Charlie Kirk was like that. So when you watch somebody like this, you do get a sense of knowing the person. We don't know. I mean, I could be full of shit on this. I don't know if Charlie Kirk was really like this, but I always got that sense that the person that you saw talking to other people was the person that he would be talking to you straight ahead. And yeah, we're flawed. I mean, you guys have seen me lose my shit more than once. You've seen me with all the emotions. It's just, and Gail cried over this. She just, I don't know why. Why am I crying over this guy? We just watch on TV, and I think that's actually it. You know this person to a certain extent, and there's an emotional bond. And then there's the outrage of he had an opinion. I mean, when it comes right down to it, he had an opinion. Charlie Kirk is not a congressperson. He's not the president. He's not a governor. He's not a Senate member. He doesn't affect fucking law. That's it. He has an opinion. And therefore he must die. Somebody thought that. And I agree with Eric. Somebody paid for it. Somebody was willing to execute it.
Well, I said something earlier today that may sound crazy on the surface, but what happened today is kind of reminiscent of Martin Luther King Jr., the man that was changing hearts and minds was taken out for his opinions. And it's, it's as crazy it is to make that connection. He was affecting change, and he was a threat to a lot of people's agendas. I mean, that's why someone took a shot at Trump and Butler last July. And I saw somebody posted earlier, said that about rushing to conclusions, said that kid was a registered Republican. At 20 years of age, you might as well be registered a Keebler elf, because everything else in his manifesto was all far left talking points.
Yep.
But
by the way, I absolutely 100% agree with Clint. Please take to Twitter, call for a boycott of DC Comics, tag James Gunn, Todd McFarlane, all the anybody who has anything, tell them and do it. Don't just tell them. Absolutely. I 100%. I already don't buy new comic books. I just have too many old ones on my shelf that I'm very much interested in, and none of the DC and Marvel stick. The last one everybody told me was good was poor Batman building Batmobiles out of garbage trucks and shit like that. And I just couldn't get past it, because poor people don't give a shit about building Batmobiles. They wonder what meat might I have with my ramens this week.
Yeah, people don't fly either, but see, that's a you problem. You couldn't get in the spirit.
It is.
It was batshit crazy, but it wasn't. Yeah. It wasn't memorable. I mean, it was cotton candy entertainment, but I wholeheartedly agree. And again, easy for me to say that because I cut the cord 2 weeks ago, and it's one thing to disagree with somebody. Like I said, Mark Waid is an odious person, but for him to say, I don't know if I can write because that man's in the White House. Yeah, that's an opinion. It's a misguided opinion, but it doesn't rise to, I hope the bullet's okay. When I touched someone who was assassinated. That person needs to be in an institution getting help.
Which leads me, considering the type of people who have been going crazy lately and trying to kill people, and this doesn't just seem like it's being paid. I mean, it's like these guys are coming out of a factory. Is somebody running a CIA type program? They have to. I mean, these people have to know that they're not actually gaining anything from it personally, and they are very, very well likely to get killed in the process.
Well, as I said, there's a term over here. It's like the suicide by cop becomes like a lottery ticket for the family, because the family will end up suing the department and getting millions. Got somebody got $37 million or something like that. And
that's ridiculous. By the way, somebody asked what did Charlie Kirk say about George Floyd that everybody thought he was racist over? I know one of the things was that the whole thing. There is no evidence, by the way, that the murder or the death of George Floyd had anything to do with race. It was made that way.
Right.
Made to be that way.
It was right place, right time, and
And it shouldn't have. The officer really shouldn't have gone to jail, because he did what he was trained to do. I mean, if you want something, with the system, that was what you should have gone after, not just the cop. It really should have been, if you don't like how it happened, it's not him. Any officer would have done the same. He was just the one that was there. You got to go after the training itself. but they needed a fall guy for that. Let's see. Somebody is sad because they see people. Oh, the don't worry about that. Look, I care about the opinions of my wife and my children. When it comes to how I look, I am not bothered by this. Seriously, if I put on a yellow shirt, I would look like Charlie Brown grew up. Or my favorite, I look like the Kingpin's, less threatening brother. It's just, I've heard a lot of good stuff. The only thing I say, if you're going to insult me, at least be funny, because you're not going to offend me. I know how I look. I look like the start of every crime scene photo. When they start off, they draw a head. That's how I look. So I understand, if you're going to insult the way I look, please be funny.
Yeah,
you're not going to offend me.
He's our little before picture.
Exactly. Let's see. Prisoner. Hey, you guys have seen that movie with Marky Mark Wahlberg? I think it came out in 2007. The Shooter. We are living in a day and age where witnesses of crime are being arrested and, it skipped. And the real crimes get away. Or, look at what happened to, what's his name? Penny. Something Penny. And
Daniel Penny.
The subway. Daniel Penny. He stopped a guy from killing people. He was threatening. He just held him down. Yeah. Evil Black Cat is back again. Okay. Let's see. A lot of people don't know the actual George Floyd story either. Just what the legacy. Yeah, the legacy media told them is Rhaegar's comment here, and that's true. If you watch the full video, the one that the people saw in court, I'm actually surprised. I actually believe people were coerced into giving a guilty verdict. Because you even had what is she, Senate or Congress, Maxine Waters. Oh, if they don't find him guilty, we're going to burn this shit down. If they didn't find, what's his name, Derek Chauvin guilty, there would have been riots again. And I think that people are afraid of that. Points. What are they going to do to my family if they don't say again?
I said there are tipping points. Like Mike Tyson went to jail because the cops and the Rodney King and one of the Kennedys, I can't remember, Robert Kennedy or not, Robert Smith or whatever, somebody connected to the Kennedy family got away with rape. And like I said, so even though Tyson went to breakfast with the woman the next morning, factual, he was convicted and sentenced to prison because they needed a pound of flesh. And I said, and so there was no way Chauvin had a chance, either way. Yeah, so
Jim saying the Minnesota AG Keith Ellison doesn't have a law license, so he can do anything and not worry about little things like legality of prosecutions he wants. They did this before with Rodney King. Obviously, I know King survived, but same story. Media edits videos to fit the narrative. Yeah. Petty little stands attack people based on. Don't worry about him. He's providing commentary, so it's adding to the algorithm. It's fine with me. Like I said, I just wish he was funny about the appearance things. But there you go. They interviewed the jurors. They said they knew Chauvin was guilty before the trial. Exactly, which should have been a mistrial. I don't know, and that's the kind of thing that that got Charlie Kirk called a racist. I myself have said the best thing George Floyd did for his family was get killed before he died of the fentanyl overdose, and that's true. I mean, he was a career criminal druggie. What was he providing his family? What was he doing for his family? And then he takes too many drugs. He's dying. He's uncomfortable. He has to be placed on the ground. If he was just placed on the ground and Derek Chauvin stood up and he wasn't holding him down, he would have died anyway. But nope, Derek Chauvin put his knee on his neck and or on the lower part by the back. And all of a sudden, they have cause to sue the city. What was it, 27 million? I wonder if they were placed in the presence of God and asked which one would you rather have, the 27 million or your son back, what they would say, because of what he was and how he was. I just read that Charlie said months ago that he put on a hate group watch list by the SPLC. I'm sure they're investigating. I hope so. I hope people are found. I'm a little bit weird about this. I want them to start going after the people funding. I want them to start going after, like in the case of the girl that got stabbed in the on the subway. I want them to start going after the AG. I want them to start going after the people who released this month 14 times. You know? Yeah, they finally found the shooter, Drew. And I know that's an extremist view, but if you are putting a habitual criminal, a habitual violent criminal on the street over and over and over again, I think you hold some sort of responsibility here. I don't know.
Back to the which one are we talking about now? I stepped out for a second.
I was bringing up the AG for that one. The black guy stabbed the white girl because she was white. He actually said, "Oh, I got that white girl."
When I found out that woman was never even an attorney, that was galling. Yeah. You could just be appointed to that, and I said, and hopefully they clean her out. At least that's a start. Yeah, I said when he started showing the time after the stabbing, and that she actually lived for another 15, 20 seconds, and nobody came up to her. That's heartbreaking. Because I said, it's weird. Until this week, I had never seen footage of someone being killed, and I've seen it twice. Made it 63 fucking years, and then twice in 1 week. And I don't count the Kennedy thing. I mean, good God, the film's so grainy you can't. Yeah, but I said it's just awful. It's
MK saying, yeah, that girl, I keep seeing people saying that guy had mental issues. The train stabbing wasn't his fault. Like, seriously, how can people say that? Imagine if it was a white dude stabbing a black girl. MK says, I do agree with Charlie Kirk that it would have been national news. It would have been, the mainstream media completely ignored it until they absolutely had to address it, and then they supported the criminal. But I do believe that had it been the other way, it would have been mainstream news.
No, honestly, I'm not 100% sure that it was racial, but I'm 100% sure that he killed her. And he said what he had done, and he mentioned the race, but I said, I don't care. I said 14 times, and I don't care. I said, you're not fixing that person. I said, he's used up enough oxygen for one lifetime. Yeah, I said, unlike
take him out of the sandbox.
Unlike the shooter today, where we need to find out who was behind it, there's nothing behind this other than just a sick fuck that does not need to be breathing anymore.
Now, another thing that perplexes me.
Oh, by the way, I typed in Gretchen. The first name that came up was that girl. Go on ahead, man.
One of the things that also perplexes me is that in the last few years, we've seen the left in America advocating for trying to forbid the right from speaking, or claiming that it should be illegal to shoot the right, and then something like this happens. And is there nobody intelligent on that side that understands if you create a framework that you try to use against your opponents, though those opponents can also use that framework against you. Don't they understand that? Does nobody on that side understand that? If you create a situation where it becomes you make your enemies illegal, if your enemies take over the country, they will use that same legal device on you. And if you start assassinating your political enemies, you normalize it so that you cannot complain if they come after you. But they don't seem to understand that.
Yeah. I know Sabricot has been trolling in the thing. Dude, that's already been debunked. I'm going to ask you now. I'm going to require you to be a more intelligent and better troll. Okay, I don't mind if you're trolling. I've been doing this for damn near 10 years. I require a better troll at this point in time. You know I've been shadow banned for saying the wrong politics before, but I'm going to insist now. I've been doing this long enough to have a better troll. So I'm going to give you another chance. All right, you're going to come up with something better. All righty, that has been debunked. Registered Republican, but everything about his history was far left. So you're going to come up with something better. Either a better insult on my appearance, which is going to be funny, or better trolling. So that's the last of it. All right. And by the way, the hypothetical, what if it was a far right guy? Maybe he thought that Charlie Kirk wasn't going far enough, or maybe if maybe all of this. I'll tell you what, it doesn't change everything we've said before about what has been happening with the left, not just the far left, but just the left. It doesn't change any of that, but the guy will still be fucking pond scum. Not even that. He still will deserve everything that's coming to him. But that's it. All right. So there you go. Can't get a troll past the king. Haha, says Big Seal. Well, I'll tell you this. There's about 100 blue wrenches in here. If anybody says something that's way inappropriate, please, by all means, exercise it. You know the rules. You know that there's no slurs around allowed here or anything like that. So please. All right. Oh, by the way, yeah, I do actually. That is true. The troll here, by trolling as much as he has, is the second biggest commentator in the thing here. All right, so I want to share something. Hopefully my computer will do this and not blank out. This is something I just saw. All righty, it is Congress where, according to this, Lorena Bobbert requests a moment of prayer for Charlie Kirk. So let me see if the sound is all the way up. Okay. Can y'all see it?
Not yet.
All right. When you can see it.
Okay.
Lorena Bobbitt. I don't think you can hear it because she's in the background. Okay, Lorena Bobbitt asks for a moment of silence from for Charlie Kirk, and the Democrats start yelling no.
Let's wait a minute. Wait a minute. This will be in order. The House will be in order.
And when they yelled no, I thought the sound would be a little bit better, but unfortunately it was not. All right.
Yeah. By the way,
that's where we are.
It's Boebert. Lorena Bobbitt was the one that cut her husband's.
Did I say Bobbitt? Oh, okay, yeah. Boebert. There you go. There you go. All right. Sorry, guys. Lorena Boebert. You're right. Lorena Bobbitt should all be on the on every guy's mind. We don't want that to happen again. But there you go. It's like,
All right.
just, yeah. I don't know.
Wally
Anyway.
West.
Yeah, Wally West. Actually, I was a little bit miffed when they brought Barry Allen back because at that period of time, Wally West was actually the Flash longer than Barry Allen was. And more people knew Wally West as the Flash. Now, even in the Justice League cartoon, they called him Barry, but that was Wally West's attitude and such. All righty. You can hear one of the Democrats scream, "Fuck no," says Clint. Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous the way this is being treated. And the reason why I'm doing this is because this live stream is because it fucking hit me, and I had to talk about it. I had to talk about this. I'm just wondering if YouTube's going to let me keep it. Oh, I thought he was Barry in the Justice League cartoon. I stand corrected. Swearing in this, oh fuck, yeah, you should have heard me in the beginning there, Big Seal guy. I most definitely swore.
Yeah, that's
Oh, by the way, I hear they're changing it, so now if you do swear a lot, your video is going to get flagged and demonetized. So, okay.
So if you hear the lawmakers react like that, it should be no surprise that the constituents act in a like behavior.
Yeah, well, for the longest time, oh, these people who are not us, they are evil. I mean, that's been the way to go. Ethan Van Sciver said Flash Rebirth was one of his worst projects because Jeff Johns didn't finish the script while they were still making it. I can see that. I didn't care for it myself. Let's see, but you could bet if Whoopi Goldberg or Rachel Maddow died, they would want a moratorium. Probably so. I've seen YouTube take down videos for less. Yeah, me too. Mark Waid's run of The Flash was awesome. Mark Waid's run of a lot of stuff back in the day is awesome. I'll tell you what, his most recent awesome was Archie 1941. Mark Waid himself is a prick.
Actually, he's done a lot of good writing at DC recently. I think he's kind of run out of steam on World's Finest, but the Batman Robin Year One has been very good. His Justice League has been pretty solid. The taking America off of the Justice League notwithstanding, even his Bible he's writing for DC has been pretty good. But again, like I said, I disagree with him. He has done some awful things to people. I mean, whether it's the Mark Alisi at CrossGen, or just other various temper tantrums he's thrown over the years. But I said there are levels to things, and even though I disagree with him vehemently, politically, he really doesn't let it creep into his writing. And more often than not, that's enough. But I think this, obviously the Red Hood writer has trampled over that line on more than one occasion. And I don't know when enough is enough. I mean, it's what does it take to get fired from DC other than vote Republican? I mean, we're talking, they recruited this creature, and Chuck Dixon couldn't get a book there if he wanted one. Yeah,
Chuck Dixon can write in rings around a lot of people there. The last time I read DC Comics, I mean, if what was called All In Batman or whatever it was, the one where he's poor.
Absolute Batman.
But absolute, okay. If that is what's coming out and called best, it reminds me of what you would say. The only reason Donny Cates is celebrated now is it's now instead of like in the 90s or the 80s where the writing was just so much better.
I agree. Now the problem, the problem today, I still maintain, as good as some of the books at DC are, and there are a lot of good books at DC, the new rules of writing was everything from the writing for the omnibus which Scott Snyder apparently is now addressing, trying to get that corrected at DC too. There are too many unwritten rules. The damsel in distress has basically been purged from comics. You can have a manzel in distress, but there's a progressive stack in life that also applies to comics, and it takes a lot of the. I said the comics had always been a. I don't know. I don't want to say a male power fantasy, but it's been like fantasy for boys, just like certain things are fantasy for girls. But now, when you try to be in the quest to be inclusive, they've excluded the boys from a lot of this, and it makes it more of a challenge for writers to write well under these new, unwritten rules. But so many plot points get taken off the table that really, you think about some of the greatest stories of all time. You think like the night Gwen Stacy died. You couldn't do that story today. They wouldn't.
No, of course not, because it would make her a victim. Yeah. Let's see. Guys, we're letting the troll control the conversation. The man has died horribly. Well, there you go. Taken care of. I still find the rare gems in all comics I read and review, says to Hill. I'm glad you do. Like I said, my opinions are my opinions. My not wanting to read modern comics has just as much to do with what's on my bookshelf rather than what I think the quality is. Because sometimes, like, I'll read Dick Tracy or Flash Gordon, and I'll think they're great. It's just I haven't found too much at Marvel and DC to go for. So
I would argue that indies right now might be the best they've been since the 80s.
What is this? It's potential spam. Okay. Sometimes it's important, sometimes it's not. It's probably telling me our lights are about to be shut off. Let's see. It is almost like turning a boys and girls mixed school into a girls' school, or the Boy Scouts into mixed. By the way, I stopped buying Girl Scout cookies because of that. Is that that's my big play. It's like, wait a second, you guys destroy the fucking Boy Scouts and now you're just buy our cookies still? No. And yes, Eric Robinson, rest in peace to Charlie Kirk. And you know what? Thoughts and prayers to his family, please. I disagree with a lot of what the left say about thoughts and prayers. When me and Gail were at our lowest, when we were, when I was sick, or whenever we had something going wrong, or I was emotionally crushed at something, and you guys gave good vibes, you guys gave thoughts and prayers, it lifted the spirit. It helps you move forward. So that horse shit that a lot of people on the left like to say about thoughts and prayers don't do shit. They don't know shit. Thoughts and prayers can lift you up, and maybe you're done. I have been lower than I have ever been, and you guys have seen it. And I get good wishes from you guys, and it's like, you know what? I thought I couldn't take another step. Now I can take that next step. And if I can take that one, maybe I can take another one. Because it actually heals. It can heal the spirit. It can heal the soul to have friends or family or anyone just say, look, we're supporting you, at least emotionally. We're here for you. So I absolutely believe thoughts and prayers for Charlie Kirk's family, because as bad as it is, and as bad as it is that it was done to him, his struggle is over. He was a religious man. I everything I've seen, he was a good man. I think he is now in the kingdom. I think he has been accepted, or at least I believe. His struggle is over. His family, now needs the thoughts and prayers. I can't even imagine that. That's actually hitting me right here. I can't say. Sorry, guys, because I'm thinking. I'm what do you call it when you? I'm thinking about his family, but I'm also thinking about my own family and what would they do? You know. I mean, I've got a beautiful wife. I've got 2 beautiful kids. Gail is, on one hand, she's one of the strongest women I've ever met. Now, I've been raised by strong women. I appreciate strong women, but on the other hand, I know I've been emotionally, I've been an oak for her. You know, bottle up your own feelings. The dad suffers, by the way. I truly believe that. If your wife, if your children are suffering and you are suffering at the same time, you have to stop and you have to be the strength for the family. So I do wonder, you're talking about Charlie Kirk, I do wonder. And it just makes me worry about his family more so. I know financially he set them up, and that's at least good. But those children are going to be raised without a father now. The mom is not going to have her chosen partner anymore. And even though they're together, they're going to be alone. Tehillim says thoughts and prayers aren't meant to be taken in negative context. Basically saying if I pray to God or deity, I'll put you up in prayer to them. And thoughts is saying thinking about you. Yes. Tillium also says plus medical studies have proven there is power in prayer. Hello to KO Joe from North Carolina. I used to live in Goldsboro. Something. It was 40 or 50 years ago, so excuse me if I got the name wrong. Are you planning to do a cover ranking, or it's all good if not? I just get it. It's curious since today feels like Twilight Time. I was actually thinking about that. I'm not sure, in all honesty. On one hand, it's like on with the show. On the other hand, maybe we'll do another one of these, but with less vitriol. You know, just let's talk kind of thing a little bit later. I know I've got to close up shop in about 10 minutes here because I got to go pick Gail up from work. These kind of things are very, what's the word? Cathartic, I guess. Yeah, cathartic. Yeah. And I just had to get on and talk, and I'm glad you guys joined. I hope I didn't want this to be all about hatred on the other side, but you know, I don't know. Anyway, one of you guys talk. I talk too much. Well, that worked.
Yeah, well, I always think about.
No, go ahead, please.
No, I always think about these events from a civilizational point of view. Civilization is something that's hard to build and easy to tear down. And if we start acting like we're not civilized, we're contributing to tear it down. Civilization provides us a certain level of security. It also provides us with a lot of work to keep it working. But you need to take into account that your behavior reflects on the overall status of civilization, which is usually translated as the broken window syndrome. If you don't fix your broken windows, everybody stops caring, and you cannot let violence be your first instinct when you have a disagreement. So if everybody could please take a moment to step back and look around and figure, okay, if we have a problem, it needs to be fixed. It does not mean we have to tear everything down.
Okay. Looks like I'm shooting a lot of trolls today. Yeah. So there you go. We cannot let violence win, says Big Seal Guy. I agree. Go on ahead, man. Please.
Oh, in the meantime, I'd like to plug a comic made by a Portuguese writer in a Portuguese artist. It was published by Image Comics. One shot came out 2 weeks ago. The writer is the guy who runs the comic shop I go to, and the comic's called "The Man Who Dreamt the Impossible," and it's his tribute to Jack Kirby. He created a character that's very much like Jack Kirby, and it's a very interesting heartwarming story. So if anyone's interested, go look for it. It's not one of the cheap ones because it's only 32 pages, but it's oversized, so it's $10. I'm afraid, but it's something that you can put on the shelf instead of in the long box.
Right. That's kind of what I look for these days. I'm more a trade paperback collector anymore than I am floppy. And in general, I'm not buying too much because I've got so much on the shelf. But if I find a good deal, I'm going to take it. That is faux show. Alrighty. Let me see. I hit the wrong button. So I am trying to find a guy that I knocked out the where are we going? Analytics? Content? Nope. I'm trying to get a guy back here that I accidentally hit the boot. I didn't mean to boot. Permissions, community deal agreements. I don't know where everything is. YouTube has changed shit, and now I can't find things anymore. Community moderation. I think this is what I'm looking for. Blocked words. Okay, I need user management. Standard moderators approved, and we've got hidden users. Okay. Where is that guy? What was his name? Freaking hell. He was right here.
Prisoner?
Oh, there he is. Prisoner. Yeah. All right. There you go. He should be back. Who else do I have down here? My goodness gracious. A whole bunch of Russians. Those are the porn bots. JDA Talks Comics. Because John Delarose, he came on and he had used the F word, not for gay people. Bozo the Clown. Got a couple of you guys in here. Yeah. Huh. Okay. Let me save that. So sorry about that, Prisoner. I hit the wrong button. All righty. There we go. Let's see. All righty. What are we talking about here? Apparently, DC Writer said, I hope the bullet is okay. Yeah. Well, we could talk about that later. The boot was justified because he was being slick, but says Rhaegar. Okay, we'll just put a reset. See if you can do better about it. I've noticed when you do serious topics, the trolls come out occasionally, the auction, but you've been good with them for a while. I haven't been victim of the wrong button. You were. I was clicking through, and it just hit, and I apologize. Richard Meyer's attacking Thinking Critical again, saying he has no integrity. Meyer has lost his mind. I did a video about some of his posts and such. I might do another one. I don't want to. I mean, John Delarose, the guy who did come in here, he basically used the slur for cigarettes in England, and I don't allow slurs on my channel, by the way, none. Even if you use white people as a pejorative, that is a slur, therefore booted. Yeah, I did. I don't want to do. I don't know if I want to be the channel that goes after Richard Meyer every 2 weeks. You know,
that's John's taking that mantle. and run with it.
Yeah, he goes after every post.
Well, I like that.
Yeah.
I do get a chuckle out of it. He starts his videos. He goes,
Richard's kind of right about
Oh,
Wes.
that's funny. That's funny.
Here's the thing. I've noticed that Wes keeps the drama available for viewing, for total viewing, and he keeps the interesting reviews behind the paywall.
not on Saturdays.
Okay.
But Saturdays is a drama day.
They talk about comic book.
No,
I'm talking about
really?
the best of the week, not his show.
Hmm.
Oh, okay.
Right. Okay.
All right. Yeah,
But,
I actually have nothing bad to say about West. I don't always agree. I would like him to lower his camera a little bit, so he does. It's very guilt-paying to watch his show, but that's about it.
The thing is, Richard reacts to Wes, and he doesn't react to Wes as much as he reacts to Critical Drinker and the guys who are only talking about movies. It's because he most likely doesn't have access to the more interesting the more interesting videos. So he notices a lot of drama stuff, and that is being critical of. I think that Richard is also showing that he kind of has a limited palette of what he likes to read, and since he does not go look for indie comics in the way that he wants to, like Marvel and DC, he's not paying attention to the good stuff.
Well, Richard, one of his other problems is he, for some reason, I don't know if it's Stockholm Syndrome or what, but he uses Republican and conservative as pejoratives now. Two things that he was for the first 6 years of his channel. And as far as keeping the good reviews behind a paywall, Wes is also trying to make a living as a YouTuber. And the sad reality is the good reviews don't garner the same amount of attention as the drama or the bad reviews. And those are for, those are for the comic book fans that are willing to support his channel beyond past, just being a subscriber. Now, I'd like to see more positive reviews, but I said they've never been as lucrative or as successful as the negative ones, and that's just a sad fact of YouTube. That's
something I learned a long time ago.
But who is Richard Meyer to call anybody a tourist? If okay, does that mean I get to call Richard a tourist? Because I've been reading comics for 50 years. So, is that the measuring stick? How long you've been doing it? It's not. People get into hobbies at various points in their lives. Should Wes apologize for getting a late start and vow to never read another comic book again so Richard can feel good about himself? Fuck that. I said,
I don't think. Oh, go on ahead, sir.
No, I said, how long you've been in a hobby is not the measuring stick, for what your knowledge is. Hell, I've been reading comics for longer than you've been alive, Paulo. My knowledge pales in comparison. So I have a lot of knowledge. I don't have the memory anymore. I know my memory. My memory has been my memory has been regressing a hell of a lot more than you, and you're 10 years older than I am. Oh,
I started using the Grand Comics database as a crutch. I just need to know the keywords to look for, and I find the thing immediately.
but you probably wrote.
Oh, and by the way, Eric, you should know about that. You really are 10 years older than I am.
I should know about what?
Hello. No, I was just kidding. Hey, what's up? I'm actually putting my shoes on to go. And when we're right around the corner down the road, so we don't have to rush. Come on in. You are on the right. I was talking about Charlie Kirk. I don't know how much you know of him, but if you want to say something, the microphone's right here.
I mean, I've seen like some of his videos and all that. I mean, my whole opinion of it is still just you can give your opinions. You don't have to fucking be killed for that shit.
I don't know where she gets her cussing from.
To be fair, I
Fuck-
think the F-bomb
fuck if I
is
know.
very decent for the situation.
Yeah, I definitely went off. I'm actually thinking of putting this one behind the paywall because it's not going to be monetized anyway. Apparently, Angleton's math is as bad as his memory. Wait, what did I do?
Yeah,
Hanger 18 is Colin. Oh, go ahead.
let's say he won't
What
know that by the end of the stream. And thank you, Taylor.
Let's see. Hello, folks. Grim Day, says Matt. Nice to see you're doing all right there, Matt. Remember when he went on Jim Jeffries? Oh my gosh, I thought that was a train wreck. Also, I went, oh my gosh, Diversity in Comics has the same fucking hairdo as Carol Danvers. Those were my two thoughts about that whole thing. Who's the speaker in the background? That is my boy. That's Pistachio. I didn't think that if we're going to be talking about a serious situation like the assassination of Charlie Kirk, maybe I shouldn't have a bird on my head while doing it.
By the way, I don't know if this. I think I said this on the Geeky Puppet Show last night, but did you see Yasoy Wax post yesterday?
No said Gail.
No. Oh, by the way, hold on. Give me 1 second there. That's actually my daughter Ashley, who was speaking there. But yes, I have not seen that particular. What are we talking about?
He took a couple more shots at Mags Versaggio, and Yasoy Wax said, "Mags is Richard C. Meyer is the one dick Mags Versaggio can't get rid of."
That's true. That is funny.
That's top 5 best posts I've ever read.
You say again?
You got so heated the last one.
Is that actually because it's hotter inside? It's hotter inside than it is outside? I don't know. Yeah, my window is completely fogged up. So my daughter's saying I got so heated, my window is fogged up. Yeah. I'm also a little bit happy to say I'm making leeway into that big mess I showed you guys. We're moving in. That's why the blank walls. I finally found my green screen, so I'm going to put that up here. But yeah, we're getting used to the house. And Rhaegar is saying, "Oh well said, E's daughter, Ashley."
Yep.
Yeah. Remember when we called her Carl Members? Yep.
By the way, before we
Go
close
ahead,
this
sir.
out, if we do elect to get together later tonight, I would suggest that we do a cover ranking. I mean, obviously there'll be Charlie Kirk talk in there, but it might be a nice distraction, and and maybe I'll get to do what no one's seen me do on camera, and that's do one of Dixie Enormous rankings.
Yeah, maybe so. All righty. If you cut, when we do the rankings, I'm the only one on camera for that. Yeah, I'm glad you're still streaming. E, you are one of the. I appreciate that, Hanger 18.
That's right. Of all the streamers,
By
out
all
there,
means,
he is one of them.
I am one of them. Yes, one of the original. Yeah, Dark Admiral saying do something fun. I get that. Even if we, I get it. If we do a live stream or if we do a cover ranking, we'll try to keep it lighter. Obviously, there will be Charlie Kirk talk. There just can't. God damn it! I can't. He's dead. I know that's what we've been talking about, but it slaps you in the face. Think about this. Something I do every day. I'll watch like an hour's worth of YouTube in the morning, and it's usually I'll look up the Tim Pool. I'll look up the Charlie Kirk. I'll look up if Crowder has something, and then maybe a couple of the local news things. Charlie Kirk's dead. That's not possible anymore. He's gone. He's 31 fucking years old.
My age.
He had two. You're 31 years old?
Turning 31.
Good fucking Lord. When the hell did that happen? You know, I am not old enough. I am not old enough to have a 31-year-old daughter. Oh, you think? I'm going to lie when Breen does that. I always picture him as Yosemite Sam. That's funny. It's the biggest national news story, so hard not to see a comment or so about it, says Rhaegar. Yeah, I don't have it ready. I mentioned how we're going to do. I was going to get some Power Man stuff, and I was going to work on that. So I haven't worked on it yet. So I'll try to, but otherwise we're doing Teen Titans. Those are some ugly fucking covers. Yeah.
Unnecessary roll call.
Go back to the vault.
Eric, unnecessary roll call.
Well, there's nobody else. None of my teammates.
There's nobody else here. Yeah. Let's see. Anyone reminding you we did Power Man. Oh, I know we did Power Man 1 through 12, but these are not even 13 through 24. These are a little bit further up. I think actually we get into the 40s near where Power Man meets Iron Fist.
There's some awesome cocaine covers in the 20s.
Well, we have to do Marv Wolfman. It goes with Ethereal Dragon.
That's right.
Ethereal Dragon paid for it. Ethereal Dragon gets what I want him to have. Let's see. I first heard this from my brother who goes to UVU. He was at work at the time, so that's great. My daughter told me. We literally just got home, and she came in. You know, kids today, even at 30, they're holding their phone all the time. And she comes in, did you hear about Charlie Kirk? I said, what? And she goes, he got shot. And I said, holy shit, somebody tried to assassinate Charlie Kirk? And she goes, no, Dad, he's dead. Fucking hell, man. I can't say that without getting pissed. For an opinion. I'm going to go back over the same shit, and I need to go pick up my wife. So, yeah, please join us at 10:30. We might do a cover ranking. If I could get the Power Man stuff in, we might do a hangout, but we'll try to keep it a little bit lighter. Okay, can't promise, but yeah, we'll do that. In the meantime, are you guys going to do a reading?
We don't read on Wednesdays.
Oh, okay. You know what? We started last week. We said let's do live streams because the fun people aren't on Wednesdays. So yeah, we'll get back together. We'll do a live stream. Please, guys, join. I know this isn't the content normally, but please hit subscribe, like, share, and all that kind of stuff. And agree or disagree, leave a comment even after it's posted. If you do disagree, politically, let me know, or give us a comment. We could talk about it. And I'm a little bit more calm now, so I think we could treat you respectfully and such. So, yeah. Everyone, do your best to have a good Wednesday. Hopefully, you really want to do covers.
No, I'll try. No, it's because we've done this now, and I'm not saying okay now we can compartmentalize and just move on, but I'm saying that sometimes you need a break, and if we do reconvene, I would say that, be a nice distraction.
It could be. All right. Hey, look. Okay. So for those of you who jumped in for the Charlie Kirk stuff, one of the things we do every Sunday, Tuesday, we're going to start doing live streams on Wednesday. So it's also on Friday. We do cover rankings. And basically it's just, let's look at these books that a lot of times maybe you haven't even seen these covers. And we talk about the art, what's good, what's bad. We make jokes about it. They do funny voices. I'm not a huge funny voice guy, but you'll probably not get funny voices tonight because it's me and Eric. But we do this, and it's a fun thing to do. So please, if you haven't join us for a cover ranking tonight. We're going to look at some Power Man covers.
I forgot about that.
What? Funny voices?
Yeah, no, that it is just us because we don't have the Lesters or Venkman.
That's what I was saying. We announced we were going to do live streams. So,
yeah, geez, maybe not then.
Let's see. Henry says Eric is right. I thought you would know that by now. Your memory problems. I got to head out, but I hope to catch the replay. Just got to work. You take care, Matthew. Be safe.
All right, maybe if we do this, we can do the Team Titans because that'll be easily distracted. No, I said whatever covers you want to do, we'll do it and bang it out.
All righty, you kids have a great time. I have to go pick up my wife. Thank you very much for watching. And if you disagree, please don't flag this. Don't be a douche. All righty, have a good night, guys. Enjoy. And thank you very much. Somebody new. No, that's not new. Greta Orloff. That's not new. That's somebody who's been here.
Greta. Greta's the wife.
Greta's the wife of Orloff. Okay. Well, thank you very much, Greta. All right. You kids have fun.